Welcome back. Looks like tonight we're going to have a really good conversation about some Metallica. I'm a big fan of Metallica. I collect their stuff. I have all kinds of their albums and their cassettes as well. This kind of cassette is from England, and we'll get into the particulars of the cassette as well as the release and the parent release of this album as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And I have some questions for you, and hopefully you guys enjoy. And I'm going to make sure I capture the chat a bit more tonight versus last Thursday night. I kind of lost track of it for a minute, doing too many things at once. So let's go ahead and say hi to everybody who's here. We have Dewey. Thanks for being here, Dewey. I appreciate you. We have My Life Sunny Side Up. Thank you, Sydney Cat. Again, great stream today. We all got your back. Don't worry about that. Zach's Collections. Thanks for coming in, Zach. I appreciate you, bud. And we have 6 people in the house right now, just coming in. Just please hit the like button if you don't mind, and let me know what you think in the poll. What was your favorite Cliff Burton era Metallica recording? For me, I'll tell you it was Kill 'Em All, but I am a fan of all 3. So have a look. Hey, Rev. Yeah, that cover is pretty hectic, Harry. There's some history about that cover. We're going to talk about that tonight. Thanks, everybody. Nature Dog. And just giving everybody a couple of minutes to shuffle in and say hello to everybody. You're all friends. You all know each other. I always appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. It's going to be about a 20 minutes, maybe half an hour live stream. Nothing big. We're just going to talk about this release, and we're going to talk about the parent release a little bit, get into some of the particulars of the recording, the artwork, and this particular printing of cassette, as well as the parent one. So I appreciate everybody coming in, and you guys are all kicking ass, and I really appreciate you. Ride the Lightning was a great record, so whoever chose that one, that's right on with me. And let's go ahead and let's if the one of the albums that you like from Metallica isn't listed in my poll, just list it in the chat. Whether you like the Black Album, the Load Album, Justice for All, Garage Days, let me know in the chat what you think. What your favorite Metallica album is. And I'll read it out here while we're waiting for a few more people to come in. Great stream today as well, Nature Dog. Oh, thank you, City Cat. Oh, look, Sydney Cat, it was Nez that got it. How ironic. That's wild. And hell yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Hell yeah, Rev. Sydney Cat, again, thank you. And Miss Debbie got it this time. That's cool. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. You do a lot for the community. You would do a lot for everybody. And trust me, you're well liked in this community. So don't ever think otherwise. All right. Enough of that. All right. So Debbie, thanks for being here. And oh yeah, for sure. Nature Dog, did you look at the poll at the top of the chat? We're just gonna keep it up for the duration of the live, and we'll see what everybody's favorites is. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. So before we talk about this, we need to talk about this. This was one of the best records ever made, and it was the first album from Metallica. So we're going to go ahead and we need to talk about what this recording was before we can really understand, because Jump was a single from this album. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about this for a minute. I appreciate you, MPP. Thank you so much for being here. Funny story, National Parks Princess and I became friends way back through another channel, Guru and Wahoo the Turtle. And actually, we ended up talking about Metallica a lot. And she got to see Metallica on the Day of the Green in '85 in Oakland, where they did the Cliff 'Em All recording in the DVD. So I know Metallica is pretty near and dear to your heart as well, NPP. So I'm glad you're here. Starro, thank you for being here, Jameson. I appreciate it. All right, so if everybody's just coming in, please hit the like, please hit the poll. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. So, Metallica, Kill 'Em All, this one. This is the debut record from Metallica. It was actually released through an independent label called Megaforce Records. And it was ran by a guy named Johnny Z. or Johnny Zazula. And actually it had a budget of $15,000 at the time. So that's about 50 grand in today's money. And it was recorded during May 10th to the 27th in 1983. And it was done with the producer, Paul. I can never say his name right, so it's Kirkow. And it was done at Music America Studios at 232 East Avenue in Rochester, New York. So for anybody in the Rochester area, heavy metal history was in East Rochester. That's where it all started. Now this particular copy is a Banzai copy. I'll show you here. It says Banzai. Right here, Banzai Records. This is a very rare cassette. It's worth a couple of $100. And this was the Canadian printing of the Megaforce release. Okay, but anyways, let's get into it. This features the lineup of James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, Cliff Burton, and again, Kirk Hammett. Dave Mustaine wrote a lot of the material for this record and for Ride the Lightning, but everybody knows he was ousted and replaced with Kirk Hammett. And then they went ahead and they re-recorded some of his music with lyrics and such and such and such. So we'll get into that a little bit. Does anybody in the chat, I want to hear from you, does anybody know what the original title of this album was? Yes, that's amazing, NPP. The Day of the Green, it seemed like they played forever, and it was only 45 minutes of a jam. Isn't that wild? So does anybody know? Let me know in the chat. If you do, I'll send you one of these bad boys. If you know the first one that gets it, I'll send you one of these awesome Maiden stickers. Well, there's be some other questions too, but I'll... National Parks Princess, I said, do you remember what the original name of this record was going to be? The original name. Metallica actually made shirts out of it, and stickers and patches as well. No, it wasn't FML, but that's pretty close. No, it was Metal Up Your Ass was the name of the first original name for this album. So nobody got it, but there'll be other questions later. So that's that was the original title for this was Metal Up Your Ass. And of course, you know, had a toilet with a knife going through it. You can look up the logo. You can look up the image. The record company freaked out and said, no, let's go with something a little bit more tame, as much as this could be tame, right? Yes, absolutely, Nature Dog. So this album came out in 83, and this was one of the singles that came from it. And this was Jump in the Fire. And the Jump in the Fire actually was not the first Metallica single ever released. It was the first in Europe, but wasn't the first overall. Does anybody know what Metallica's first single was? Put it in the chat. All right, well, you're going to get some Metallica knowledge tonight, guys. No, Rev, you're close, but no. It's a very rare cassette. I used to have it. I thought I still had it, but I can't find it. So I don't know if it grew legs or whatever. I wanted it for tonight, but I couldn't find it. All right, so we'll let you marinate for a couple more minutes on that one while I go through this. So Jump in the Fire, and then I had two live tracks, quote unquote live tracks on this album, which was Seek and Destroy and Phantom Lord, which they weren't actually live. They were just alternate studio takes with crowd noise overdubbed on top. So these were not actually live. It says they were live in Berkeley in 83, but they weren't. They were just recorded at the Automat Theater or the Automat Studio and redubbed. Okay. All right. So anybody remember? No. Oh, gosh, you're killing me. It was Whiplash. Whiplash was the first single from Metallica, Kill 'Em All. And it was released in America in 1983. This was released January 1984 in Europe. Now, Whiplash and Jump in the Fire share the same two B-side tracks, which is Seek and Destroy and Phantom Lord. Same recordings, same overdub on the crowd. The difference is one has the Whiplash song and the Neck Brace remix, and this one just has Jump in the Fire. See, hey, MPP, your brother knows his music. Now, does anybody have any idea who the original writer was for Jump in the Fire? Let's see if you know that one. It would only be two people, so take a guess. Thank you, Jameson. I appreciate it. Does anybody know? We're batting zero here. So I guess that's why we tune into this stuff, right? Hey, North Coast. Thank you, Susanna. I'm a diehard as well. Make sure you hit the poll up at the top, please, just for fun. Thanks, Nature Dog. I appreciate it very much. You're awesome. Very, very supportive. Everybody go check out Nature Dog Realms. She's freaking awesome. And My Life Sunny Side Up. Both of those ladies treat me very well, and they're very good friends of me and the channel, as well as National Parks Princess and all of you guys. You guys are great. Okay, National Parks Princess, I'll ask again. Do you have any idea who was the original writer for Jump in the Fire? And it's actually, I'll give you a hint, it wasn't Hetfield. Yes, NDR did a great stream today. All right. I won't keep you in suspense much longer. It was Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine wrote the music and the lyrics for Jump in the Fire and Phantom Lord. They left Phantom Lord the way it was. They changed Jump in the Fire a little bit. And they rewrote some of the lyrics after they kicked Dave out of the band. And they rewrote the Mechanics single to the Four Horsemen. So that was redone by James and Lars after Dave had left. But Dave played in a band called Panic. And that's where Jump in the Fire, Phantom Lord, and Mechanics, a.k.a. Four Horsemen, came from. Yes. So Dave Mustaine was the original writer of this album. Or that's this track. Most of the Kill 'Em All record, actually, including the guitar riffs for most of the thrash metal from that time. And if you could tell, yes, I'm a big fan of Dave Mustaine. Huge influence of me in my life, and I just think a lot of the men. So, again, if you don't like Dave Mustaine, I'm sorry, but I think he was a brilliant guitar player. Hey, DK, thanks for being here. North Coast, you as well. So, for those of you who are just coming in, we're talking about the Jump in the Fire cassette single. This was released in Europe in 1984, January the 20th. And Kill 'Em All was released July 25th, 1983. So it came out a couple of months after the original recording. And this here is actually from Musics for Nations. And this was actually printed in England. Okay, and it's a reissue. It's not a first printing. First printing, now I probably have to give up a kidney, maybe even a firstborn. But this reissue came out in, I think, 89 or 90. So we'll get into the cassette specific stuff, but let's talk about this cover for a minute. This cover art is amazing. Thank you, Cindy Cat. I appreciate it. Oh, look at that. Doc got it. Excessive Horror. Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. And for everybody just coming in, please hit the like button. We're trying to get this music stuff off the ground on the channel. It's starting to take off, but I need your guys' support on this big time. Okay, so cassette specific printing information on this tape. So this is from Music for Nations. The catalog is T12 KUT 105. This is a reissue. It's in stereo. It's not mono and it's not manufactured stereo. It's real stereo AE. Okay, and it has the Music for Nations logo here on the side. And this actually came out, like I said, 89. And this is similar to the other clear-shelled Music for Nations, except that one has white lettering here and not the silver lettering. And the first printing on Music for Nations was a white tape with a red and orange label on it. So this is a really, really clean, really, really awesome shape. Cassette single here. You can see 1983, made in England, takeout music. Takeout music is what you're looking for there. Just catching up with the chat real quick. Yeah, I am very happy that Obsessed got it as well. Here, let's take a look at the fold out. I'll talk about the artwork a little bit. So here's the artwork. I normally don't take out the inlays because they get chafed and they start to wear. But here's the image. And I know Harry made a comment that it kind of scared him. Oh, thanks, Danielle. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. The cover art actually was designed by the man Les Edwards. Les Edwards did a bunch of other covers as well during that time. And this is the demon image from the cover of Devils of D-Day from Graham Masterson. It was a horror paperback from 1978 is where this came from. Thank you so much. It's in great shape. It cost me a pretty penny to get it a while ago, so I'm really glad I have it in my collection. If you're wondering, I have all the Metallica printings on cassette, including all the Canadian printings and all the American printings, and I'm working on England, but it's getting expensive. And on the back flap here, we have the classic Metallica logo. Love this logo. Hey, man, when I was a kid, I wrote that on everything, including myself. I had it written on everything, bus stops, street signs, schoolyards, carved it in my desk, carved it into my arm with a pen, huge Metallica guy back in the day as well. So here's some of the cool pictures in the inlay. Rest in peace, Cliff Burton, you crazy bastard. You're awesome. Great, great musician. Back then, Metallica was actually, their bass player was the lead bass player, not a lead guitar player, a lead bass player. And he played like that. Yeah, look at that, eh? Love it. And those drums, I've never seen anybody actually really know how to play them properly. Imagine that. I'm just kidding. If you know, you know. But this is a wonderful single. I love this single so much. There's a couple other cool singles from this. Like I said, the Whiplash single is really cool. It's really hard to get. It's on Megaforce. It gets expensive. You're talking about $100 probably to get it. But those are the only two singles off Kill 'Em All. And this Kill 'Em All tape is, again, a first Canadian printing on Banzai. It's a very rare tape. And you can tell it's starting, the cover's starting to shape a little bit. See? Yeah. And it's pulling it in and taking it out all the time. But you'll see here, it's got the Megaforce credit. And this is for all the collectors out there. If you're into Metallica and you're into collecting Metallica stuff specifically, any Metallica stuff that's on Megaforce, get it. It's collectible. It's worth money. And it's worth getting. And the only things that came out on Megaforce was Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. But they're worth getting if you could find them. Or any of the singles. The 12-inch singles. So Whiplash and Jump. Creeping Death is a cool single too. We'll talk about that someday as well. But I really, really am a big fan of early Metallica and early Burton Metallica especially. So it's cool. And I'll tell you a cool story how this winds up. Probably about 1,500 rev, to be honest. Got about 1,500 tapes. And records, I got about 4,000 or 5,000 records at this point. I've thinned it out a lot. I have more to do. But I'm keeping all the metal and the punk stuff because that's just worth money. And again, one of the cool things I wanted to mention though as well, we talk about Dave Mustaine and how he wrote most of this material. He's going to go ahead and for his last studio record for Megadeth, they're going to cover Ride the Lightning. And he's going to play it the way he wrote it back in 83. Because if you know, Ride the Lightning came out in 84. And Dave was out of the band at that time, but he wrote a lot of that music, a lot of those guitar riffs and solos. So he's gonna actually cover it. They're gonna release it as a Megadeth release, and it'll be the last album he's gonna do. And it's gonna be kind of a full circle moment where he's gonna record and covered the Ride the Lightning single the way he had written it way back in the day, which is awesome. Hey, Ken Bird, thanks for being here. What can you say about this stuff? It's killer. It's classic, you know? Where would music be without Metallica? Honestly. And where would they be without this release? This release changed music. It's one of Rolling Stone's top 25 records. Hey Zed, thanks for coming in. And this is a really cool single. I do have the Creeping Death single on cassette as well and on vinyl. So we'll talk about that another time. I think that would be fun to do a deep dive into that and do a deep dive into the Kill 'Em All album. So these two, I think it would be really, really fun to do and talk about. So yeah, that's really all I had for this release. Because again, it's only a single, right? So the other thing I failed to mention, I should have mentioned it. It's the same on each side. So we got Jump in the Fire, Seek and Destroy, Phantom Lord, and on the second side, it's the same lineup. So I forgot to mention that. My bad. I get excited, and I start geeking out on all this stuff. No, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jameson. So everybody, let's go ahead and have a look at the poll. If you haven't voted, please vote now. I want to have a look and see what everybody's sort of favorite Cliff Burton era recording was, whether it was Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, or Puppets. Like I said, Kill 'Em All is my favorite. Ride the Lightning's the second, but Master of Puppets was my introduction to Metallica. That was the first album from Metallica I got when it came out. And I remember listening to it at my grandmother's house on a little ghetto blaster. And she came in their room and she's like, "What the hell is this?" Remember, she was used to listening to Glenn Miller's orchestra, right? And Gene Krupa and Benny Goodman. So I'm glad I grew up in the jazz house, but they didn't know what the hell to think when they saw this stuff for sure. So looks like Master of Puppets is coming out almost a 2-1 margin in the poll. That's great. One more ask for everybody. That's right, Danielle. Master. Thank you, Obsess. I appreciate you thanking Sydney Cat. We all should thank everybody for their support. We got a great community here. One more ask before I go. Can you hit the like button if you haven't already? Check everybody out in the chat. And do one more thing. Just let's be nice to each other and be respectful in this community. There's way too much division, shit talking, backstabbing, BS going around, and it needs to stop. It really makes it so you don't want to be here on here much anymore, right? So let's remember just to be nice to each other. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Hit your like button. And if you think it's trash, it's trash. Let me know. If you like it, great. You want to subscribe if you like it? Awesome. If you're bored of me, unsubscribe. Awesome. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I appreciate everybody who's taken the time to hang out with me. And I appreciate all the support I get in this community, including all the wonderful donations and tips from everybody. Sydney Cat, Nature Dog Realms, Danielle Davis. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you. And we'll see everybody in the next one. Thanks, y'all. No, you're right. You're right, Repo Man. You're right, buddy. Thank you for being here. See you next Thursday, everybody.